Humanity has long been preoccupied with intelligence, celebrating the intellectual elite, praising rational thought, and investing billions in education systems that aim to cultivate smart, capable individuals. Yet, as much as we honor intelligence, we often fail to acknowledge one of the most enduring influential forces in society: human stupidity. Carlo M. Cipolla, an Italian economic historian, famously tackled this uncomfortable subject in his darkly humorous yet powerfully insightful video, The Basic Laws of Human Stupidity. Far from being a mere satire, Cipolla's work is a sobering and systematic framework that reveals how stupidity is not only common but also profoundly destructive. At the core of Cipolla's theory are 5 basic laws that define the nature and behavior of stupid individuals. These laws challenge widely held beliefs about intelligence, education, and morality, emphasizing that stupidity transcends social and intellectual boundaries. His most disturbing argument is that stupid people are more dangerous than malicious ones, not because of evil intentions, but because of their ability to cause harm without logic, consistency, or reason. This video will explore Cipolla's 5 laws in depth, analyzing each through a contemporary lens. It will also reflect on how these ideas manifest in politics, business, and society at large. In doing so, we aim to understand why the silent power of stupid people is perhaps one of the most underestimated threats to human progress and stability. 1. The first law: underestimating the number of stupid people. Cipolla's first law states, "Always and inevitably everyone underestimates the number of stupid individuals in circulation." This law is as unsettling as it is counterintuitive. Most people assume they can roughly gauge the intellectual caliber of those around them, especially in academic, professional, or leadership settings. Yet Cipolla warns that no matter how cynical or perceptive we believe ourselves to be, we are almost always mistaken in our estimates. Stupidity, he argues, is far more widespread than we are willing to acknowledge. The implications of this law are profound. In every institution, schools, governments, corporations, there is a silent, often invisible quota of individuals whose actions consistently defy logic and harm collective well-being. These individuals are not always conspicuous. In fact, many can appear outwardly competent, charming, or even intelligent. Cipolla emphasizes that stupidity is not about a lack of education or intellectual capacity. It is a behavioral trait. Stupid people are those who, through their actions, cause harm to others without benefiting themselves, and often suffer personal losses in the process. This first law also exposes a dangerous human tendency, our refusal to confront uncomfortable truths. Because we instinctively equate academic degrees or professional success with intelligence, we blind ourselves to the possibility that stupidity may reside in high places. As a result, we become vulnerable to its effects, often recognizing the damage only after it has spiraled beyond control. By underestimating stupidity, we invite it to operate unchecked, embedded in the very systems we trust to lead us. 2. The second law: stupidity is randomly distributed. Cipolla's second law is even more provocative. The probability that a person is stupid is independent of any other characteristic of that person. In other words, stupidity is randomly distributed across all demographics, irrespective of race, religion, education, income, or profession. This law upends the comforting assumption that stupidity can be avoided through knowledge or status. A person can be highly educated, politically powerful, or socially respected, and still act in profoundly stupid ways. This randomness is what makes stupidity such a formidable force. Unlike other behavioral patterns, stupidity is immune to external indicators. Intelligence, virtue, or competence in one area does not preclude stupid behavior in another. For instance, a brilliant physicist may make ruinous personal or social decisions that fit Cipolla's criteria for stupidity. Similarly, a charismatic political leader might implement policies that hurt their constituents and their own career, deriving no benefit while inflicting widespread damage. Furthermore, the second law reinforces the importance of humility. It reminds us that no group or individual is above irrationality. As societies, we often fall into the trap of assuming that higher education or affluence automatically inoculates people against stupidity. But this assumption is not only false, it is dangerous. It causes us to lower our guard in the very environments where stupid decisions can have the most destructive consequences, such as government, law, and medicine. 3. The third law, defining the stupid person. Perhaps the most groundbreaking of Cipolla's ideas is his third law. A stupid person is a person who causes losses to another person or to a group of persons while deriving no gain and even possibly incurring losses. This definition is critical because it separates stupidity from ignorance, incompetence, or malice. Stupidity, in Cipolla's terms, is defined by outcomes, not intentions. A person is stupid not because they mean to harm, but because their actions result in harm without rational cause or personal gain. This conceptualization is unsettling because it reveals stupidity as a uniquely irrational and chaotic force. A thief may harm others, but he does so to enrich himself. A helpless person may suffer harm but does not inflict it. But the stupid person harms both themselves and others simultaneously, acting in a way that defies both logic and self-interest. This behavior is unpredictable and therefore exceptionally dangerous. In practical terms, the third law explains many of the frustrations we experience in everyday life. The colleague who constantly disrupts workflows, the bureaucrat whose policies create inefficiency without benefit, or the voter who supports policies that hurt their own community. All fit Cipolla's model. They are not evil, ill-informed, or malicious. They are stupid in the purest sense, and therefore more damaging than any deliberate enemy could ever be. 4. The fourth law, underestimating the danger of stupidity. Cipolla's fourth law warns us. Non-stupid people always underestimate the damaging power of stupid individuals. This law underscores one of the most tragic flaws in human reasoning: our over-reliance on logic and good intentions. Because we expect others to act rationally, we consistently misjudge the threat posed by stupidity. We believe that with enough facts, reason, or patience, any irrational behavior can be corrected. But this is precisely the mistake Cipolla cautions against. Stupid people cannot be reasoned with because their actions are not governed by logic or incentive structures. This makes them inherently dangerous, especially when placed in positions of influence. Leaders, managers, or even everyday citizens who fail to recognize and guard against stupidity are destined to suffer its consequences. The belief that stupidity can be reformed or educated away is naive at best and fatal at worst. The underestimation of stupidity also causes a ripple effect. When smart individuals ignore or dismiss stupid ones, they often allow these people to occupy critical spaces in society. Stupid decision-makers can derail entire projects, corrupt institutions, or provoke public crises. Not through malice, but through sheer incompetence. Cipolla's fourth law reminds us that vigilance against stupidity is not just a matter of good governance, it is a matter of survival. 5. The fifth law, the most dangerous people. The culmination of Cipolla's theory is his fifth and most chilling law: a stupid person is the most dangerous type of person. This assertion may seem exaggerated until one considers the nature of the threat. Bandits, for example, are dangerous, but their behavior is predictable. They act out of self-interest and can often be bargained with, deterred, or punished. Stupid people, by contrast, are irrational and uncontainable. Their behavior lacks consistency, making it impossible to anticipate or neutralize. Cipolla illustrates this point with a quadrant diagram. Intelligent people help both themselves and others. Bandits help themselves while hurting others. Helpless people hurt themselves while benefiting others. And stupid people hurt both themselves and others. It is this unique placement, bringing universal harm with no discernible benefit, that makes stupid individuals the most dangerous of all. In contemporary contexts, this law is particularly alarming. Misinformation campaigns and anti-science movements to disastrous political decisions, the influence of stupidity has become both widespread and normalized. And because stupid individuals often act with confidence and charisma, they attract followings, amplify chaos, and catalyze systemic failures. In this light, Cipolla's final law is not hyperbole. It is a prophetic warning. Conclusion: confronting the silent force. Carlo M. Cipolla's The Basic Laws of Human Stupidity presents a worldview that is both unsettling and essential. His laws challenge our assumptions about intelligence, human behavior, and societal progress. Most importantly, they shine a light on the silent yet overwhelming influence of stupid people. Individuals who, through irrational actions, undermine systems, harm others, and often damage themselves in the process. The true danger of stupidity lies in its invisibility and unpredictability. It defies traditional solutions like education, intelligence, or moral reasoning. Cipolla's essay forces us to reconsider how we evaluate risk, leadership, and cooperation. To ignore his warnings is to invite chaos. To heed them is to develop a sharper awareness of the threats that operate under the guise of normalcy. In a world increasingly connected and complex, the lessons from Cipolla's work are more relevant than ever. If we are to build resilient societies, organizations, and governments, we must first learn to recognize and resist the subtle but potent force that is human stupidity. The silent power of stupid people is real, and only by acknowledging it can we begin to mitigate its impact.